Have you ever felt a quiet ache, a sense of disconnect, even when surrounded by family, or when the phone rings with casual pleasantries? It is a feeling many of us experience, a subtle whisper that tells us something is missing, even if we cannot quite name it. We often think of loneliness as simply being alone, sitting by ourselves in an empty room. But the truth is far more complex, more nuanced, and often more painful. It is a reality that touches so many lives, yet remains cloaked in silence, a secret struggle that too many bear in solitude. Today, we are going to pull back that curtain, peel back the layers, and explore 5 hidden truths about loneliness in old age that almost no one talks about. These are not just observations. They are invitations to understand ourselves and our loved ones better, and to find paths toward deeper connection. In this video, we will look at these 5 often overlooked aspects of loneliness, offering insights and gentle guidance that can truly make a difference in your life, or the life of someone you care about. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you, something that can shift your entire perspective on finding joy and connection as we grow older. Now, let us begin by uncovering the first hidden truth. A truth that often catches us off guard: loneliness is not always about being alone. It is about a profound lack of meaningful connection. This might sound counterintuitive, might not it? You can be surrounded by people, a bustling family at holidays, a lively community group, a full social calendar, and yet still feel an aching emptiness inside. It is like being in the middle of a crowded room, but feeling utterly invisible, unheard, and unseen. Think about it. You might go to a weekly card game, share a few laughs, discuss the weather, and then go home feeling just as isolated as when you arrived. The interactions are there, yes, but they are often superficial, skirting the edges of who we truly are, what we truly feel, and what truly matters to us. We might talk about our grandchildren, our latest doctor's appointment, or the price of groceries. But how often do we truly share our hopes, our fears, our quiet joys, or our deepest sorrows? How often do we feel truly heard, truly understood by the people around us? This is the core of this first hidden truth. Loneliness stems not from a lack of physical presence, but from a deficit of genuine, authentic connection. It is the absence of someone who knows your story, who remembers the little details, who asks how you are truly doing and waits for an honest answer. It is the yearning for conversations that go beyond the surface, that touch the heart and mind, that allow you to feel truly seen and valued for who you are, not just for the role you play. So, what can we do when we recognize this within ourselves or in someone we care for? The first step is to shift our focus from mere presence to meaningful presence. Instead of aiming for more social engagements that might feel hollow, aim for deeper engagements, even if they are fewer. Start small. Identify one person in your life, a family member, a neighbor, an old friend, and intentionally seek to deepen that connection. This could mean calling them not just for a quick chat, but to truly listen, to ask open-ended questions about their day, their feelings, their dreams. It could mean sharing something a little more personal about yourself, something that shows vulnerability and invites reciprocity. Perhaps suggest a quiet cup of tea where you can simply talk, without the distractions of a larger group. Remember, deep connections are built one authentic conversation, one shared moment of vulnerability, one true listening session at a time. It is not about filling your calendar, but about enriching your soul. This leads us directly to the second hidden truth, one that often prevents us from even acknowledging our loneliness. It is often masked by busyness or pride. We live in a society that values independence and self-sufficiency. Especially as we age, there is a quiet expectation that we should be able to handle things on our own, that asking for help or admitting a vulnerability like loneliness might be a sign of weakness. So, What do many of us do? We fill our days. We volunteer for everything. We join countless clubs. We take up new hobbies, sometimes to the point of exhaustion. We create a whirlwind of activity around ourselves, a constant motion that leaves little room for quiet reflection, for the uncomfortable realization that beneath all that busyness, there is still an empty space. It is a clever defense mechanism, a way to convince ourselves and others that we are perfectly fine, perfectly fulfilled, perfectly connected. We might even brag about how busy we are, how many commitments we have, how little time we have for quiet moments. But sometimes, if we are truly honest with ourselves, this frenetic pace is a deliberate avoidance of the quietude that might force us to confront uncomfortable feelings. Pride also plays a significant role here. Admitting to loneliness can feel like admitting failure, a confession that we have not managed to build or maintain the connections we need. We might feel embarrassed to say, "I am lonely," or "I wish someone would call me." We might worry about being perceived as needy, a burden, or even uninteresting. So, we put on a brave face. We might politely decline invitations to social gatherings, not because we do not want to go, but because the thought of explaining why we feel a certain way, or opening ourselves up to potential judgment, feels too overwhelming. We might withdraw, thinking it is better to suffer in silence than to risk rejection or pity. This invisible wall of pride can be incredibly isolating, keeping others out even when they genuinely want to connect. The first step to breaking through this is gentle self-awareness. Ask yourself, why am I always so busy? Am I truly enjoying all these activities? Or am I running from something? Can I allow myself to be a little less perfect and a little more human? Can I practice the courage of vulnerability? This does not mean broadcasting your loneliness to the world, but perhaps starting with one trusted person. It could be as simple as saying, "I have been feeling a bit quiet lately, and it would be lovely to just sit and chat," rather than waiting for an invitation that might never come. Or, if someone offers help or company, consider accepting it, even if your first instinct is to say, "Oh, no, I am fine, thank you." Remember, true strength often lies in recognizing our needs and allowing others to meet them, fostering deeper connection in the process. It is about letting go of the need to appear perfectly self-sufficient and embracing the beautiful truth of our shared human need for connection. As we continue our journey into the hidden truths of loneliness, let us explore the third profound insight. The loss of purpose often contributes more to loneliness than the loss of people. This might seem surprising at first, because we naturally associate loneliness with a lack of social interaction. However, as we age, many of us experience significant life transitions that can strip away roles and responsibilities that once defined us and provided a profound sense of meaning and connection. Think about retirement. For decades, our work might have been a primary source of identity, routine, and social interaction. We had colleagues, projects, deadlines, and a clear contribution to make. When that suddenly ends, it is not just the loss of income or the daily commute. It is the loss of that structured environment, that intellectual stimulation, and that feeling of being needed and valued for our skills and expertise. The quiet mornings stretching endlessly ahead, without a clear task or a reason to engage, can lead to a deep-seated emptiness, a void that no amount of casual socializing can truly fill. Similarly, consider the experience of children growing up and leaving home, or perhaps grandchildren no longer needing daily care. For years, being a parent or grandparent was a central purpose, shaping our days and giving us a clear role to play. The sudden quiet of an empty nest, or the realization that our nurturing presence is less essential, can leave a profound sense of obsolescence. It is not just missing the laughter and the chaos. It is missing the feeling of being crucial, of having a direct impact on another's well-being. This sense of lost purpose can manifest as a form of existential loneliness, a feeling that one no longer has a significant role to play in the grand scheme of things. It is a deeper kind of isolation that transcends mere social interaction. So, what can we do to combat this? The key lies in actively seeking and cultivating new sources of purpose. This does not mean finding another job, though for some, part-time work can be fulfilling. It means identifying what truly lights you up, what gives you a sense of contribution and meaning. This could be volunteering for a cause you care deeply about, where your life experience and wisdom are genuinely valued. It could be learning a new skill or language, engaging your mind in a way that provides intellectual challenge and a sense of accomplishment. It could be mentoring younger people, sharing your knowledge and insights, and feeling the satisfaction of passing on what you have learned. It could even be pursuing a creative passion, painting, writing, gardening, music, that provides an outlet for self-expression and a sense of mastery. The goal is to find activities that make you feel alive, engaged, and useful, not just to others, but to yourself. When we have purpose, we naturally find ourselves in situations that foster genuine connection, not just social pleasantries, but shared endeavors that bond us through common goals and shared meaning. It is about reimagining what purpose looks like in this new chapter of life, and actively pursuing it with curiosity and courage. Moving on to our fourth hidden truth: technology, despite its promises, can often worsen loneliness. In our increasingly digital world, we are constantly told that technology connects us. We have smartphones, tablets, social media platforms, video calls, and countless apps designed to bring people closer. And in some ways, they do. They allow us to see loved ones across continents, share photos instantly, and reconnect with old friends from school. These are wonderful tools, no doubt. However, there is a darker side to this digital connectivity that often goes unacknowledged, especially for older adults. For many, social media, in particular, can become a source of comparison and inadequacy. We scroll through curated feeds, seeing highlight reels of everyone else's seemingly perfect lives, their exotic vacations, their bustling family gatherings, their vibrant social circles. And in that moment, sitting alone in our quiet homes, it can amplify feelings of being left out, of not measuring up, of having a less exciting or connected life. It creates a false sense of connection, where we are observing others' lives rather than truly participating in our own. It is like looking through a window at a party you are not invited to, which only deepens the feeling of isolation. Furthermore, technology can inadvertently replace genuine, face-to-face interaction with superficial digital substitutes. A quick text message or an emoji-filled comment on a post simply cannot replicate the richness of a real conversation. The nuances of body language, the warmth of a shared smile, the comfort of a touch, or the depth of eye contact. We might find ourselves spending hours doom scrolling, passively consuming content, rather than actively reaching out for a real voice call, let alone an in-person visit. The ease of digital communication can make us lazy, making us less likely to put in the effort required for deeper, more meaningful human connection. It becomes a convenient buffer, protecting us from the vulnerabilities that come with true interaction, but also preventing us from experiencing its profound rewards. So, how can we navigate this digital landscape without falling prey to its isolating tendencies? The key is mindful use. Treat technology as a bridge, not a destination. Use video calls to connect with distant family, but then actively seek out in-person interactions with those who are physically closer. Use social media to keep up with general updates, but prioritize one-on-one phone calls, or even better, real-life meetups for deeper conversations. Set boundaries for your screen time. Perhaps designate specific times of the day for checking social media, and then put your devices away. Actively reach out to friends or family for a voice call instead of just sending a text. Encourage loved ones to visit or to engage in shared activities that do not involve screens. Remember, technology is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how we wield it. When used intentionally to facilitate real-world connection, it is invaluable. When it becomes a substitute for it, it can be a silent amplifier of loneliness. It is about balancing the convenience of the digital with the necessity of the truly human. Recognizing that while a screen can show a face, it is the shared space and the real presence that nourish the soul. And now, for the fifth and perhaps most profound hidden truth about loneliness in old age society's narrative of independent aging can be deeply isolating. We are constantly bombarded with messages that laud self-sufficiency, resilience, and the idea of not being a burden to our families or communities as we grow older. While independence is certainly a valuable quality, and maintaining one's autonomy is important, this narrative can subtly, yet powerfully, discourage us from reaching out for help. Admitting vulnerability, or simply expressing a need for companionship, we might internalize the idea that to be truly strong or successful in old age, we must be able to handle everything on our own. This often leads to a quiet suffering, where individuals hesitate to mention their feelings of loneliness or their need for support, fearing they will be seen as weak, needy, or dependent. Imagine this: a television commercial showing a vibrant older person effortlessly managing their large home, driving everywhere, and doing all their shopping without a hint of assistance. While inspiring on the surface, it sets an almost impossible standard. It suggests that asking a neighbor for a ride to the store, or admitting that you feel a bit down and would appreciate a visit, somehow diminishes your worth or capacity. This societal pressure to be fiercely independent can make it incredibly difficult to initiate the very connections that combat loneliness. We might politely refuse offers of help, even when we could genuinely benefit from them, simply to maintain this facade of unwavering self-reliance. We might avoid sharing our quieter moments, our slower days, or our true feelings of isolation with our loved ones, believing it would somehow burden them or make them worry unnecessarily. The irony is that this very pursuit of extreme independence often leads to deeper isolation. Humans are inherently social creatures, designed for connection and interdependence, not total self-sufficiency. Throughout history, communities thrived on mutual support, on giving and receiving help. It is a natural part of the human condition to lean on each other from time to time. So, how do we challenge this isolating narrative and embrace a more healthy, connected way of aging? The first step is to recognize that asking for and accepting help is not a sign of weakness, but a profound act of strength and self-awareness. It takes courage to admit a need, and it opens the door for genuine connection. It allows others the opportunity to express their care and love for you, which is a gift for both giver and receiver. Begin by gently shifting your own mindset. Instead of thinking, "I do not want to be a burden," try reframing it as, "I am allowing someone to show their love and support for me." Look for small opportunities to practice interdependence. This could be as simple as accepting an offer for a meal, allowing a grandchild to help you with a tech question, or reaching out to a friend and saying, "I would really love some company this afternoon, if you have a moment." It is about fostering a spirit of reciprocity, where you are also willing to offer help and support to others when they need it. Remember, strong relationships are built on a balance of giving and receiving. By embracing interdependence, by allowing ourselves to be a little vulnerable, and by challenging the rigid expectations of absolute self-reliance, we create space for authentic connection to flourish. We show others that it is okay to be human, to have needs, and that true connection comes from meeting each other in those shared spaces of vulnerability and care. It is about creating a community around us, A network of support where everyone feels valued and connected, recognizing that our strength truly lies in our ability to lean on one another. So, we have explored 5 crucial truths about loneliness in old age that are rarely discussed openly. It is often about the lack of meaningful connection, not just being alone. It is frequently masked by excessive busyness or personal pride. The loss of purpose plays a significant role, sometimes even more than the loss of people. Technology, despite its promises, can inadvertently worsen feelings of isolation. And finally, society's strong emphasis on independent aging can ironically lead to deeper loneliness. Each of these hidden truths highlights a different facet of this complex human experience, offering us a deeper understanding of why we, or our loved ones, might feel isolated even when seemingly connected. Remember, recognizing these truths is the first powerful step. It is okay to feel these things. You are not alone in your experience. The important thing is that small, consistent changes can make an immense difference. It is about shifting our focus from simply filling time to truly enriching our connections. From running from quiet moments to embracing introspection. From clinging to old roles to discovering new purposes. From mindlessly scrolling to mindfully connecting. And from rigidly holding on to independence to beautifully embracing interdependence. You have the power to cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships, to find new meaning in your days, and to create a life rich with connection. It is not about grand gestures, but about those quiet, courageous steps, a genuine conversation, a shared moment of vulnerability, the pursuit of a new passion, or simply accepting a helping hand. Your journey towards greater connection and joy is unique. And it begins right where you are, right now. We would love to hear your thoughts on these hidden truths. Have you experienced any of them? What have you found helpful in cultivating deeper connections as you have aged? Please share your insights and experiences in the comments below. Your wisdom can truly help others in our community. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to our channel for more content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, your worth is immeasurable, and true connection is always within reach. Live your best life at every age.